Hello, everyone. I hope you're having an incredible Sunday. This is John Ruman, and I am glad to have you here. Today, I'm going to talk about a concept if you're a wannabe business owner or you have a business already, questions that you should consider when it comes to the capital to actually pay for your business. I'm on a couple streams here, so if I'm looking up and away from the camera, that is why. And so what we're going to talk about is if you are doing what's called bootstrapping, I'll define that in a minute, as well as if you are getting funding from an outside source. So I'll discuss the pros and cons of each. And hey, Dominic, good to see you, man. And I'll give you my perspective as to what I would encourage, and you can obviously take it from there. So this is not for me to tell you what to do. This is for you to get my perspective on this, and then you to take that for where you want to go and serve the world. So if we have not met, again, my name is John Ruman. I'm an international business coach and consultant. I work out of the beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago, and I love helping people to maximize their business and life. Hey, Travis, and maximize their business and life with tools and tips and techniques that I have learned and I can share with them. So I spend a lot of my time reading about topics like this because I'm always helping people who are startups how to do this. And if you're watching this on any of the channels, just say hi, how you doing, just so I know you're there, okay? And then also, please do me a quick favor. And if you're on this, happy Sunday to you too, Ronnie. If you're seeing this, please share this to your wall so that way other people can see it as well. Try to get the word out there. If you're watching this for the first time, I want to let you know, if you're watching on Facebook, I will, or on YouTube, I will respond to all your comments. It'll just take me a little bit. So if you see this in tomorrow afternoon, whatever, all good. I'll answer your questions. All right, let's jump right into it. So first thing I want to define is something called bootstrapping. And if anyone here is unfamiliar with the term, bootstrapping has a very old term connotation, but really what it's used in the venture capital world for companies that have no money. They're broke. They got a great idea, or so they feel, and they want to leverage that brilliant idea and create a beautiful business and change their lives and make money in the process, all those kind of good things, okay? So bootstrapping, hi Judith, good to see you. Bootstrapping comes from the idea that they're strapped for cash. They don't have money. They don't got $10 million that they can spend beautifully. And they have to do things in such a way that they're strategic with their money rather than necessarily spending their money so widely. So that is what bootstrapping is. So now what I'm going to do, and if anyone has any questions on bootstrapping, I'd be absolutely open to hear that. Most companies and most individuals who want to start a company have to do it via bootstrapping. So that is why I put that up there as the first topic. Okay. And again, this is for you if you have a new business or a new product line. This is not purely for people with brand new businesses and business ideas. You could have a new business, a new product line, you want to extend a venture, you want to open a new idea that would allow you to help the world in a new way. So it could be, hey, I want to open a new corner store there. What's the best way of going about that? Okay, so let's get started. So we have what bootstrapping is. Now let's go into the pros and cons. So I'm going to hit the most popular, everyone's dream. I'll get rid of bootstrapping. Is everyone says, hey, I want millions, right? John, I want $1 million. What can I do about that? I want this big pot of cash. Sounds great, right? Wouldn't it be nice to have like, whatever, 50 million bucks? And if you got it, great. Which is why people who have lots of money to start generally produce successful businesses because they have their own personal cash reserve. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who don't have the money and need to get it from a third party. So this is for those. Hi, Ilana. This is for people who are on the outside who don't have the cash and need to get the cash. So that is who we're targeting. So again, let's and there's a couple ways they'll get it. So I'm going to hit the two main ways. One is they get a loan from the bank or a private loan. So that's option one. And two, they can actually get equity investment. So there's raising capital via loans, and then there's equity investment. So a loan is obviously you get this big loan and you have to qualify for it, and then you get the ability to pay it back, right, at a certain interest rate. Pros of a loan, you do not lose equity. You have 100% control of your company. Cons of a loan, you have to pay it back. And many individuals do not and have not produced a company that actually produces real revenue and haven't tested what they're selling, etc., and really have a struggle with how to get enough sales to cover the loan. A lot of companies literally begin using um, the money they're funded from the loan to pay it back. You see how that could be bad, right? So that's option one. You have a loan. Option two, you have a company that wants to raise capital. So raising capital, they go to investors in the US. Shark Tank is an example. I'm in Trinidad. They have a show called Planting Seeds. That's another option. And they say, hey, I got a great idea, but I'm broke and I just can't get this moving forward. So I want your help. And the idea is in exchange for not only financial funds to propel things, marketing, production, all the various things that have been planned out, it also hopefully is a partnership. So so those shows are not designed to be, hey, I just want money and I don't want your input. I want partnership. So that is, in my opinion, a higher leverage point than or higher value than purely equity. So again, two ways to raise capital: loans, you got to pay it back, and you got to have the money for that. And if you have an unproven system, very challenging. And two, you get equity. And what's the benefit of equity? You may get a partner, as we just said, but you lose some control because now they have a voice. And if you're aware of how companies are arranged, if they have more than half ownership of a company, they have an extremely powerful voice. And as it hits certain percentages of ownership, more and more oomph. And remember, it's hard to get that back. You can buy them out later on, but it doesn't necessarily, they have the option to keep it if they choose to. So again, control and payments. Another challenge, and this is a biggie, I think, when it comes to Jared, I speak with my hands, brother. Jared, good to see you, brother. Was saying he loves I speak with my hands. If I did this behind my back, it's boring. My hands and face only gets me so far. I have to use my hands as well. They're beautiful as well. Anyway, so I'll tell you some of the other problems that come up with getting this beautiful bundle of cash. Yay, I'm wealthy. Now, here's a problem. Problem one, besides the control and the payments. You start later. So it can take 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years of you having this brilliant idea and praying. And here's another thing: people they'll propose to people and they won't protect their idea well, and the other person will steal their idea because they didn't protect it well enough. Have you ever heard of that? Non-disclosure, all these special things that people put out legally to protect themselves, they do because of this situation, because they have this great idea and they know it's good, but I got to tell these people, and I'm going to hopefully they don't steal it or find a way to steal it. See how that's a challenge? Okay, so you start later. It could be 6 months, a year. You're giving your idea out to other people, praying they don't steal it, praying they're a high integrity, ethical person, that they'll actually follow the legal structure, and that they're not just going to have their attorney, put you in a legal battle and you can't fund yourself, and they may have the financial means to, hi Angie, they may have the financial means to make it so you can't even afford to fight them as they take your company or idea. That's a common challenge. It's legitimate. Okay. When you get a bundle of cash, and this is a common story, if you have ever watched Shark Tank, watch it. It's a great show. But many of the people who get the cash have this giant party. And they'll spend literally $250,000 US on this big old blowout. Yeah, we got funding. And now they just spent as much money as they had spent the past 2 years while they were bootstrapping, getting the company to where it was on like this big blowout party. And now they have, let's say, $1 million left over, 2, 3 million left over. and they have to make that last. So what happens is when you get a bundle of cash, think of it personally. You don't spend it as wisely as if you are tight financially. Your decisions may be a little less strategic. So spending is a big issue. Time wasting is a big issue. And it may sound easy to get this bundle of cash and pay it back or have an equity partner. But in truth, what happens is they call you all the time. They give you pressure. They'll say, okay, that's great. I understand your struggles, but you pay me back. It's very, very simple, plain Jane. They want to be paid back or they want results. So your job is to produce results. So you can't screw up like you could before. And most people who get this bundle of cash may not have the experience. And if you notice, if you watch Shark Tank, again, that's a great little business school for those who don't watch it, they require proven results. They're not going to buy some great idea if it's not proven. In other words, these people haven't tried long enough, okay? And Mark Cuban, who you may know, says if anyone is at this point where they're asking money, they have failed as a business owner. And the reason is a successful business should be able to be successful on its own. Think about that for a minute. Hey, Charisse. So, okay, so that is the pros and cons of getting this hoard of cash. As you can tell, I'm not that optimistic about it because why wait 3 years to have your business? Why have a risk of someone stealing the idea? It's hard to get money. There's a lot of pressure when you got the money because you have bills to pay, the bank payments, and you have or some people do equity and loan. You have these people to pay who are on you because you need to prove to them that this is working. See how that can become a lot of pressure? So a lot of people don't think about that. They're like, John, I just want the money. I just want to be able to do and spend my brilliant idea because it's going to work. I know it. Okay, now let's discuss the other side. And the other side is when you're actually bootstrapped. And bootstrapped again, I don't have a lot of money, not extra moolah, and I need to do things with the moolah I got. So we'll discuss now how to leverage bootstrapping. And by the way, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, please just shoot me a message. I do see the messages here. I'm on a couple streams. Just shoot me a message. I'll be happy to answer it, okay? Bootstrapped. Benefit number one, well, fear number one or major challenge is that, like, John, I need money. It takes money to do what I got to do. Maybe, maybe not. But that is the common thought or perspective of those who reach out to me and say, John, I don't know what to do. I need money to start my business. Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. And I would ask you, before we get into this whole diatribe pros and cons of bootstrapping, is regardless of your situation financially, it's better to give it less cash. And I'll explain that in a minute. But instead of saying, I can't do this, that's a very limiting question. You see how that kind of limits the perspective and possibility? I believe we live in a divine cosmos with a powerful creator. And even if you don't believe in a God or creator force, we live in a quantum field of infinite possibility. So even on a scientific standpoint, there's things out there for you. And money is an option. It is not the only option. So let's going back. You get to start now. If you have your own company, you can start now. Today you start your company. And you don't have to form a company. You have to start moving in this direction. What do I need to do? I need to see if it's going to work. I'm going to start interviewing people. Would you buy this? How much would you pay? And then you test that. There's an awesome book, which I reference all the time with clients I work with, if they have big companies, existing or former, because people always come up with new ideas. The book is called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. It's R-I-E-S or R-E-I-S, something like that. Eric Ries, Lean Startup. The idea is that the idea of getting giant funding and starting a company is backwards. What you need to do, and listen to me, if you want a new product, you want to come up with a new branch of your business, a new product line, listen to this. This is for everyone listening. You must see if it works. And to do that, you don't create a product and find customers, By the way, Janine, I love that, and that's exactly what I'm saying. But let me finish this thought. So don't create a product that you think will sell and pray for customers. Find out what customers want that you're looking for and sell to them what they want. See how that's flipping the idea of how to do a business? So don't, thank you, Charisse, you're the bomb. She gave me the lean startup link there. So don't come up with a company or product or service, whatever, and pray that you have an audience. Find the audience, ask them, interview them, test it with smaller versions, like import 10 of the items, see how well they sell if it's a product. Even if it's a service, sell to that group at a small little thing, see if it works. You see how that's backwards from what usually people do? People say, I got to rent this beautiful place. I got to buy $100,000 worth of product. I got to do this giant marketing campaign. And then I got to tweak the marketing campaign to see if it works. Who is my best buyer? See how that's opposite of what you should be doing? Counterintuitive from what we've been taught. So most business schools actually teach backwards business. I'm not here to ruffle too many feathers, but there's probably some feathers that it's ruffled, and you'll handle it. You'll get over it. And please give me the hate mail and give me your feedback. I would love to hear it. I'm open to anything. Okay, so Janine Tucker Miller, thank you. She gave me the perfect feedback. I was going there. So you start now. Now. Does this work? Ideally test, ideally talk to people, but start now, start little. There's no investment. You lose this little bit. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Okay, then you can test your ideas. You can see, do these ideas work? Cool. Then you don't lose this 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it's going to take you to get all that money you know you need before you actually move. And I'm going to ask you a quick question. Do you ever find reasons to hesitate on any decisions you make? If you do, there's a bigger issue here. The bigger issue is you not being decisive and believing in yourself and the idea enough so that people want it. If you come to me like, you gotta get this, it's amazing, I love it, I love it, I love it, and you're so pumped up and enthusiastic about it, that will sell your stuff. And that is what sells. You don't need to sell it to a venture capitalist, sell it to the public. And then they're like, this is awesome, I want more. Okay? Simple. Okay, so don't waste your time, 6 months, year, whatever. You have 100% control. And you're not losing sleep because you haven't got this $1 million loan you got to pay back every month. You haven't lost 30% to XYZ investor who is awesome. I'm not telling you they're bad. They're probably wonderful people. Trust me, they're wonderful. But they need a return. They're not doing this for fun. If you found a way to make this unbelievably passive and you can give them this much and in return they get that, that's even better. Real estate does that. There's a bunch of ways you can do that without a business idea. So real estate is a great way of doing what I just talked about. If you want to go to a regular investor, say, I want your money. I'm going to find you a rental property. I'm going to get you a property investor and give them a rate of return. You get some ownership. They get most ownership. And now you leveraged other people's money. Other people's money is great, but it's not great for every investment because every investment, like your own business, you may not want to do that. Again, pros and cons to everything. Okay, and by the way, a good rebuttal to this would be a franchise. Franchises are great for this because the business is set up and it has been tested in a market or certain markets. Okay, now let me tell you about how I think you should go about doing this. Give me 1 sec. Alana has a thought. Alana Walcott, thank you for being here, Alana. She says, that's how I started, by selling to my own peeps. And I'll actually post it on the screen. So here you go. So I started by selling to my own coworkers. I started by buying with their cash, kept the profit, which I reinvested until it grew, until I got a store. Exactly. Alana, I deeply appreciate this feedback. It's perfect. Perfect. So let me tell you where I was going, because I think this will help many people. So most of you have a job, unless you have a business, and we can discuss that as well. But most of you have a job, currently. And this job that you have now pays your bills. But I would bet money that most of you Let's say you get 8 hours of sleep a night and you need, I don't know, 10 hours for work with travel, etc. There may be a 6 hour window of free time that you are not leveraging. Well, you can take away a couple hours for food. Let's say a 4 hour window of time. You don't need to burn the midnight oil. 4 hours of time a day. Times, let's say you work 5 days a week. 4 times 5, that's 20. That's half a work week that you could potentially spend on the side. And let me tell you why that is so cool. Because you have a job. So let's say you have a place that you own, you rent, a car you drive, you travel, it doesn't matter. That is being paid for by your job. Right now, you have the ability to cover that. You're not broke. Most people who come to me, and I actually help another gentleman, Roger Moore, he does cash flow, and he says a lot of people want to quit their job and start a business. And while it's great because they get excited, this is the problem they run into. They quit their job because they're so excited, but they haven't created any revenue on the side job, and they're broke, and then in a couple months they're looking for a job again. So you keep your job. Please keep your job. Don't quit your job yet. Yet. You will be your entrepreneurial master awesomeness in the future, but not yet. Okay, so keep your job. Stay with that job. That will pay for your life. Siphon some of the money you're normally wasting, let's say 10, 20, 30%, to put into this side gig you got going on. If you want to be free of the job, you have to put some in there. Or get a part-time job to pay for that. You need to put money into this side gig. Now, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, pretend the weekends are yours. You can choose to make them yours, or you can choose to make them this side gig. If you make them this side gig, you will become more successful faster because there's more energy involved, but make sure there's a sense of balance, in my opinion. Okay. Now, keep this job going on the side. You keep the job going on the side. When the job is going on the side, now you get it going. It doesn't have a lot of money, and you're strategically thinking. And I'm going to bring up a point here, which I didn't yet. Parkinson's law. It has nothing to do with the illness Parkinson's. Let me explain. Have any of you at any point bought toothpaste? I'm assuming the answer is yes, right? We all have bought toothpaste, hopefully. We all have excellent dental habits. Great job, guys. Smile. Okay, now, when you get a fresh tube of toothpaste, it's beautiful, it's full, it's plump. You do your little squeeze on your toothpaste, it's probably this long, fat strip of toothpaste. You use it, this nice liberal amount, and you love it. It's wonderful for you. The end of the toothpaste, you got 10% left or less, and you're rolling it up, and you're like squeezing that little bit on the end of that toothpaste. That is called Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law. Thank you, Charisse. I'm so glad we've all bought toothpaste. So Parkinson's law is the term that I appreciate the humor, guys, and the feedback. Parkinson's law is the idea that scarcity is to your benefit. People think, oh my God, I don't have any money. You have to have a job. You have to have the ability to pay for your bills so you can afford to do this. Trust me, critical. If you're worried about paying for your children's education, if you're worried about the electricity bill, your phone bill, the basics, you're going to fail because you're focusing on that. But if you can focus on the opportunity of your business while your job is paying for stuff and you have almost no money, let's go back to Parkinson's law, here's where the magic happens. You begin asking yourself awesome questions. How can I do this? Not, I'm broke, I can't afford that. Nah, there's always a way. How can I do this? And if your brain says you can't do this, say, okay, cool. If I could do this, how would I do it? How would I do this? Even though I don't see a way right now, how would I do this? And now, move in that direction. Trust me, just move in the direction. Magic will happen. Synchronicities, possibilities, people reaching out to you. Trust me, this is how the universe works. You have to give it attention and you have to believe it's possible, even that first little step. But what happens when people get this load of cash I talked about earlier? They waste it. But if you can think, I need to reach 1,000 people and I need to move in that direction. How can I get there to without having this bundle of cash? Again, that's Parkinson's law. So bootstrapping is basically doing this such that you are not forever um, wasting money by getting a lot of money. So the big companies will actually, this may sound crazy, but follow me here, they'll actually hold on to the money, pretend they don't have it. So the budget for this sector of the business is just this little budget. And then they figure it out. They figure it out. Here's a great example of Parkinson's law. Someone says, you got a week to figure that out. Cool, I got a week. You do it in a week. They say, oh, shoot, I need that tomorrow by 10. You're like, tomorrow by 10? Okay, and you figure it out, and it gets done. Miraculous, right? Truly miraculous. No. When there is a collapsed amount of time, it can be done. Anything is possible. But leverage Parkinson's law. Leverage scarcity in your life and watch the magic happen. Give yourself shorter deadlines than you're giving yourself. Give yourself less money than you're currently budgeting, and you'll figure it out. Your team will figure it out. Don't throw more money at the problem. Throw more brilliant brain and brilliant divine thinking that we all have at the problem. And again, every problem has a solution. That's why it's not really a problem. It's a challenge that you're going to overcome. So stop calling them problems, start calling them solutions. My buddy Travis up in New York just said, I should be an actor. Thank you. I am an actor. My act is to help you be amazing and continue to be amazing. So that is my act and my job. So start your side gig. Test the ideas. Any new idea you have, you must test it regularly, consistently, see if it works. If you have an existing business, don't throw the money at it. Test it small. Find out what the people want. Test it, please. Okay, so keep your job. All right, that is all I have for my notes today. Did anyone have any questions for me? I'll give you about 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Let me see. Yes, we bought toothpaste. Okay, Janine says, Rich Dad, Poor Dad says the same advice. Thank you, Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is awesome. And that is a great book if you have not read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the follow-up book, Cash Flow Quadrant, I would encourage you to read both books, along with the other book that we've recommended. And thank you again, Charisse, for putting that there. Guys, I really love your feedback. This is great. So Charisse says, you should have 6 months savings before you go into a startup. I wouldn't quit without savings. That's a great way of doing it. So if you have enough that you can survive for 6 months, great. Great, great, great. The important thing is that you don't feel the pressure of being broke and thinking, oh my God, I can't survive, because that does not allow you to have possibility for that. But if it's going to take you 3 years to get 6 months savings, start the side gig and save. Or start the side gig, put money towards that. So whatever works for you. I'm just waiting for any questions. I'll give about 45 more seconds. So if you're watching this in the replay, please ask me questions. I will happily wondering if, okay, I got a question. I'll happily answer your questions later if you're watching this in the replay. So Charisse was asking if I would encourage people to take a business loan. Okay, so I did actually answer this early on, Charisse, so if you watch the replay, all good, but I'll answer it because it's always good to reiterate, and I probably didn't explain it well enough. So, a business loan, if you have no business, can be very challenging. Most people I know who've taken business loans on a startup basis become broke and actually end up pleading to the bank about how business is slow and having trouble paying the loan. And they'll actually start using funds they had set aside for, for other things from that loan to actually pay back the loan. It's not good to use loan money to pay back loan money. So if that's your case, you're not doing it well. So I think it's okay. I actually like loan better than equity because at least I can limit what I'm going to lose from the bank's perspective. And by the way, if you have the funds, and if this is a new business idea that's kind of tangential to your existing business, let's say you have a business A today, and you have a business B that you have a new idea for, make a new business B, make that who is liable for the business loan. Don't take personal responsibility. ever. That's why we have businesses. So create a limited liability company in business B that just has that business loan, and do not let them hold your personal self accountable towards that. Very, very important. Most banks will allow that, assuming you've done things properly. Okay, so business loans, I like them better than equity because I don't lose control. Thank you, Theon. So I do prefer them, but I would say you need some sort of a business at first. You need to test it. You need to have revenue coming in. Business loans. So I would actually business loan before equity, ideally, because control is paramount. The stress of having someone say you owe me, or have what is kind of a new business owner with you. That's what a partner is. It's very challenging. And if anyone ever has interest in finding out how to get a good partner in business and all that, I can have a whole other talk on that, because business partnerships, most really fail terribly. And that's a big, big, big challenge that many people getting into this happen. They don't know who this person is. That's the problem, by the way, with the whole planting seeds Shark Tank idea. I don't know this guy or gal or whoever the heck is investing in this. They may be great. They may be terrible. All I'm doing is seeing them on TV. All I see is a face. So you don't know their authentic selves. So it's important to know who your business partner is. Okay. And people on a personal level are different than they are on a business level as well. And if you are concerned about keeping this person as a friend, make sure you're very clear about what you want to do when it comes to business. It can be very challenging. Okay. So no last questions. Any other questions? So thank you, Sharice, for the question. Business loan, I would encourage. I'm not against it, but not if it's a true startup. I would encourage you have enough money to comfortably pay back the loan. So you can leverage that towards more. So an example, if you have, thank you. Alana says, stick to doing your business alone. No partner's worst idea ever. You can always hire the most amazing, brilliant team. Hey, Nilash. You can hire the most amazing team. And Nilash, watch the whole beginning thing if you want. I'm at the tail end. You can hire the most amazing, brilliant people, the most brilliant minds, the most people with great ideas. You can hire experts. One of my favorite Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes is, he's like, I was a C student. I'm a bad student. But I hired A students, which are the lawyers, the accountants, the business majors, the MBA people, to do the business stuff. And I'm just the entrepreneurial investor. So that was Robert Kiyosaki's idea, which I thought was hilarious. Okay. So, all right. So would anyone be open to me doing one on partners? Because I could actually have a nice little discussion on that. And again, I'll happily ruffle some feathers. Again, I'm not afraid to express myself and I love a healthy dialogue as long as it's respectful. That's the biggie. People being disrespectful, peace, I'll ban you. But if we're cool, I'm happy to get a healthy rebuttal. So I appreciate everyone for your time today. Hey, Jared. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. If you have further questions, all right, cool. Yeah, so business collaborations. Okay, so let me hit this real quick, and then I'll run off. So collaborations, if you have a business, this is one of the greatest ways as this new startup. So let's say you are bootstrapping, and like, I got this great idea, and I was going to go to the bank, and I was going to go get equity partners. That's nice. I'm not against all those things. They all have their pros and their cons, as I discussed earlier. But what I would encourage you to do is collaborate. Competition is truly a falsehood. I'm going to be totally honest with you. People who are fearful believe in competition. I'm just going to say it straight. If you believe that people are going to steal your business, you are in a state of fear. You need to change your mindset. Change your mindset. Hey, Alana, go to my website. You want to be reminded about reminders. Go to my website and you'll see, I'm sorry, not my website. Go to my Facebook page and you'll see a thing that says, I need info about, she wants to be reminded about future lives. You may too. I have a bot link that will send you live info when I'm going to do lives. So I always send our newsletters, events, high pertinent value in lives there. So that's the easiest way to get it, Alana. So with collaboration, what it allows for you to do, instead of borrowing money and being that, or having equity and new partners, which I said may not be your best bet. It can be, but doesn't have to be. Collaboration is the opposite of competition. So collaboration is someone else who you like and you resonate with. You like you're a brother from another mother or a sister from another mister, right? Like those kind of people. Those are wonderful and they're abundant. Trust me. Hang out with the right people long enough, you can collaborate. But if you break a collaboration, it doesn't work. Okay, so be it. Much different than a business collaboration not working. But here's the beauty of collaboration. Let's say you have your tribe base of how many people, and they have the same of their own. You can cross mingle with each other, and what it allows for you to do is you're going to resonate with some other people who you don't have now, and they're going to resonate with some people who they don't have now of yours, and what it allows for is tremendous growth and cross-selling and I tell you the one thing it proved to me. The mathematics I got as a child is wrong. 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. 1 plus 1 equals 3, 5, 7 exponential. Why? Because of collaborations. So I would encourage you to find people who do not directly compete. Okay? So for example, I do business and life coaching. I actually collaborate with business coaches all the time. Why? Because I can only handle so many clients. And I can only consult with so many business. I can only train so many workshops and all that. And I focus on certain things. They don't focus on that. So people say, why are you collaborating with a business coach? John, aren't you a business coach? I am. But for example, it may be a woman and I may attract a different group than she does. Okay. Doesn't mean that we can't work together. So collaboration's powerful. Find people who are closely related to you and not exactly the same, who you jive with. You got to jive with them, otherwise it ain't fun. And then you need to collaborate and find ways to collaborate. But here's what happens. You two meet, you get excited, and it dies. It dies. Why does it die? Because everything needs nourishing. You need to focus laser. They call them blinkers in Trinidad. They call them blinders and things. You must have laser-like focus for where you want to do. If you want a collaboration, you need to give that laser-like attention and focus on a continual basis. It must be nourished like a garden. A business partnership, which is what a collaboration is, must be nourished. If you don't water that, it will not flourish. You must always say, what are our expectations? How can we best serve each other? How can we help each other? Because when you help the other person, there's something called law of reciprocity, which simply says, when I give a lot to you, you cannot help but want to give me a lot back because I gave you so much value. And when I ask you for something, you're like, absolutely. What do you want? Have you ever had those people who just give you so much? And when they ask you, hey, my niece has got a church thing. Can you give some money, buy some tickets for the raffle? You're like, absolutely. And I'll buy 5 tickets because you feel such a desire to give back. That's the law of reciprocity. So in a proper collaboration with a business partner, you should be giving to the point to where people are compelled to give back. And it's not abuse. It's love. It's sharing. It's collaboration. And if you can begin to think, how can I give this person more stuff? And stop thinking me, me, me. How can I give you more? How can I give you more? Which is why I ask in all these talks, how can I give you guys more information? What do you care about? If there's something you want me to talk about that would be beneficial to you, let me know. I'm not here, this is not John's soapbox. My job in my life, my mission is to help 1 billion with a B people achieve their highest potential. That is why I'm here. I'm not here to play around. I am here to be your friend, supporter, encourager, and pusher to help you achieve your greatest potential. I want you to believe in yourself because you do. You have unlimited potential and you need to hear people, either me or someone else you resonate, help you get there. And then the magic happens because you're not limited by what if, and I can't, and I need the money. How can I? Ask that question next time you're like, I don't have the money. Stop. Say, ooh, that was an old habit of mine. How can I do this? So how can you? Deep question. So one of my phones is about to die, so I got to run. It's been a great opportunity to see all of you. Please share this with all your friends. You've been awesome this beautiful Sunday when this was originally broadcast. You will see this on my Facebook page, my YouTube page. If you're on Instagram, it'll be there only for a day, but I will post this to YouTube. And if you want to see more of this, like Alana said, when you go to my Facebook page, the JJ Coaching and Consulting page, I believe it's called JJ Global John Ruman Coaching and Consulting. I think it's John Ruman Coaching and Consulting. All you do, thank you, Judas. All you do is I got to put this because that makes me feel good. See, I'm the best. I receive that. I thank you and I bless you as well. And by the way, most of us are not open to receiving love and appreciation from others. So I love all of you and I appreciate all of you. And you're like, I don't know you, John. Okay, that's fine. But ask yourself, how many other people do you not say, thank you, I appreciate you too? If you can do that, your abundance will grow, your relationships will grow, everything will grow. Because that is the loving, open-minded, collaborative way of thinking. So allow people to love you and love you back. Travis, I love you and I appreciate you, my brother, right? I love Travis. Sure, he's a dude. I'm married. I don't need Travis, but you know what I mean? Love is love. Doesn't have to be a relationship in that regard. So love you, everyone else, and trust me, the divine will bless us all back. Don't believe in divine? All good. It works for everyone. I don't care what you believe. The cosmic web will bless us back. So blessings to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. Share this video. Like I was trying to get with Alana, there's a bot there that says, hey, check this out. And I'd be more than happy to give as much value. If there's any topic you want, see, Travis laughed. See, laughing is all we want. If there's any topic you want me to talk about, let me know. I'll talk about it. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your amazing day.